It's like, no, I did something today. We are live.
Cool.
Shows me I really need to put my picture back up. I broke the frame, but my boring wall.
Yeah. Walls are overrated.
Yeah. So this is Followers of the Force live. Do not ask me what number it is because I don't keep track of such things.
I think we're good.
Yep.
I think it's the Friday shows that have numbers. I don't know if the Wednesday shows have numbers.
I don't know either.
So.
But I guess we have news because usually they just wait until we don't do a news show that week and then they drop something like Hayden Christensen coming to the Ahsoka series.
Yeah. Which was nice to which I guess we're doing first. Uh,
I figured that was what you were dying to talk about.
well, it's certainly the most interesting. I mean, because I don't read. So but yeah, so for me it was super interesting, and then it was and that it wasn't it wasn't like the rumor. It wasn't like a rumor that like we all figured anyway. You know what
No,
I
it
mean?
was
Like
just it was from the Hollywood Reporter is where I
that's what I
first
mean.
saw
Like
it.
it's like it's a legit. It's from legit news sources. I think it's
Yeah.
Hollywood Reporter. They've all picked it up. If it was, if it wasn't happening, somebody would have denied it.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, it's really cool. I'm kind of and unexpected. Like I
I
honestly
mean,
didn't expect to
because the
see.
thing
I didn't expect to see him in Ahsoka, and I mean I'm not Ahsoka in Obi-Wan, and so now that's happening. And I guess while maybe he's just living in the volume now, and if you want to shoot something there, you have to shoot with Hayden. I don't know.
he's just brought a bag and moved in.
It's just like yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. I
But
mean, there are worse places you could live.
right. So so yeah, I mean it's cool, and I guess we're getting him. And they said he's going to be Anakin. They made a real point of when they announced him for Obi-Wan that he was going to be playing Vader. So
Yeah.
for this, it was that he was playing Anakin. So we'll be getting him either
It's got to
in
be flashbacks. It takes
flashbacks.
place after Vader's death.
Yeah, so it'll either be flashbacks or he'll be a Force ghost.
I
Um,
mean, you get the idea that if Anakin Skywalker could have been a Force ghost, he would have like smacked his nephew upside the head a few times, or his grandson upside the head a few times during the sequel trilogy. So, I mean, I don't know if he's because he's a Force ghost, but he's a Force ghost for like 3 seconds.
yeah, it was. Um, yeah, I mean, what I kind of like about it is all the people who were upset about the special editions where they took out Sebastian Shaw and put in Hayden Christensen.
Mm-hmm.
That's not only now is that canon, but they're going to make it into a now they're going to make it into a TV show. He's going to be on a TV show. So for those of you who did not like that change in the special editions, it's going to get worse for you.
But wait, there's more.
I I mean, I was always kind of on the fence about it. I was there was parts of it that I was like, and then there was other parts of me that was like, that doesn't make any sense. Why does he look younger? Why doesn't Obi-Wan look like Ewan McGregor? Because if you're gonna choose a form, I guess you would maybe you just choose the form that you looked at that you thought of yourself as when you died.
I
And
always thought it was because, in my mind, he looked younger because he stopped being Anakin when he became Vader. But then you get the idea that he returns to being Anakin for a couple seconds before he died, and so why doesn't he look like that? And it's weird.
yeah, it's. I'm sure that there is an in canon explanation somewhere, or at least there's
I think the entire explanation is because George Lucas said so.
yeah, the entire explanation is George Lucas wanted it to be Hayden Christensen, and that's why. That's the reason. Um, But on the flip side of that, it's I feel like Uncle George was a little prescient about it because um, that is now who people think of when they think of Anakin Skywalker. Um, you know, they don't think of the guy you see when he takes the helmet off for 3 seconds.
No.
They think of
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen. So
And
even more so than Jake Lloyd.
specifically, at least for me, it's Revenge of the Sith, Hayden Christensen, because I tried to forget that the Attack of the Clones haircut was a choice.
Yeah, he's got a weird haircut in that. But but no, I mean, but you know, I mean, that's the that's the Clone Wars. I mean, to be completely honest, that's the Clone Wars version of Anakin.
Yeah.
So
That's the one that Ahsoka would remember.
yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying the design of Anakin in the Clone Wars cartoon, even
Yeah.
from the earlier episodes, he's got the longer hair, he's got the scar. I mean, that's the that's the the Anakin that most people know. So
Yeah.
it's not the guy. Yeah, I mean, it's not the guy. And if in Kenobi we see him, as Vader, but without the helmet on, again, he's
Yeah.
that's the guy. That's who people are gonna think of. The only people who are gonna be the only people who don't really think that way are the people that are like my age and older that remember the special editions that have now been around longer than the originals.
Yep.
So, but no, yeah, I pleasantly surprised.
My cousin, whose favorite character is Anakin, I forgot to text her the news, so I got to just witness her on Facebook in real time losing her shit, and it was amazing. Hi, Boots.
Yeah, I think I had something else I was going to say about it. Oh, this is what it was. I'm also surprised that they announced it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Yeah, did we ever figure out how they announced it, or like was it a full? Let me look at this.
I don't know. It didn't seem like it. I'll have to research it. I mean, I guess I could research it a little bit, but I don't think it was like a StarWars.com deal. Like, I think it was. We're going to real time research here because I have the iPad out. But I don't think it was like an announcement on StarWars.com. I think it was just, the Hollywood Reporter.
No, it says multiple sources tell the Hollywood Reporter.
Okay, yeah. So it wasn't like a release on StarWars.com. I'm
it's
pulling it from StarWars.com now.
No, and apparently it's known that Filoni is writing it. Of course.
Well, yeah. I mean, his.
It's
Yeah, I mean,
Disney was as silent as Darth Maul when asked to comment.
Oh, is that what they said? There's as silent as Darth Maul. That's a really
Maul
bad
never
analogy.
shuts up.
It's a terrible analogy. Who thought that
Ask
was a
Hannah
good idea?
about how she feels about that. She'll have an opinion.
I'm looking at this. Yeah, they still. I mean, it's not officially. I'm scrolling on the StarWars.com page now, and yeah, it's not an official thing on here. They do have the Ahsoka. They do have a thing where you can buy the Ahsoka doll, Black Series, but yes, it's not. I mean, it's not official. It could theoretically not happen, but I have a feeling at this point it's happening. So
see, me and unpopular Star Wars opinions, I like Ahsoka, but I don't like Ahsoka as much as everybody else likes Ahsoka, and I don't know why. I like her well enough. She's just not my favorite.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same. I'm kind of in the same camp. I mean, I like Ahsoka. I don't dislike her, but when I'm making my top, I never made my top 10. That might be a topic for another show.
Yeah.
But if I'm off the top of my head, if I'm naming off my favorite Star Wars characters, I don't know if she makes my top 10.
Yeah.
She might make my top 20, probably my top
Yeah.
15.
Yeah. I
But
know she definitely doesn't make my top 5.
yeah, but she may not make the top 10. She might make top 15. Top. Now I'm going to do this because I'm like so anal retentive about lists and things. I'm probably
Oh
going to do
God.
this when we get done with the show tonight. If I don't do it
Why
during
do
the
you
show,
think that you and I get along so well?
yeah, because now
But
I'm
yeah,
now I'm like because
that's
I'm
always my
because
thing.
I'm already doing the list now in my head. I'm like, well, the 6 main characters of New Hope. So that's 1 through 6 right there. That's Han, Luke, Leia, Chewie, R2, and 3PO. Then you got to throw Obi-Wan in there. Then you got to throw Yoda in there. And now I'm like at what? I'm at like 8. Yeah, this is not looking good for Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I haven't even. By the way, that's just original trilogy characters. I haven't hit the prequels or the sequels yet. I'm just doing
See, yeah,
original
that's the
trilogy.
thing is I told my coworker had never seen Star Wars, but he said, okay, except for the last 45 minutes, I watched Star Wars. And I said, oh, cool. So you met like my third most important character in my life. And he goes, which one? There was a lot of them in 9 movies. I'm like, oh no, you watched Star Wars. He goes, yeah, I haven't watched the last 45 minutes of Rise of Skywalker.
Ah,
And I said, okay, so you've met 2 of the 3 most important characters. And he goes, wait, which one isn't in Star Wars? I'm like, oh no, she's in Star Wars. You just have to go to the other movies. And he's like, oh, there's more homework.
yeah, the supplementals.
I'm like, let me introduce you to Rogue One.
But but to get back to this, it's gonna be it'll be interesting. And I saw some people talking. It's like, well, do you think Luke will get to meet Anakin? And part of me was like, well, that's kind of boring. I'd much rather see Ahsoka meet Luke
I was
than
just
Luke
saying, if Luke,
and Anakin
if
because they fought each other. Vader and
yeah,
Anakin are the same freaking guy. Like they've met. He cut off his hand. They've met.
they've had moments.
Yeah,
See, I
there are
would rather
two.
see.
There's 2
Uh,
huge lightsaber battles where both of them were there. Yeah, they've met. Um,
it's been a thing.
yeah,
That's the thing is like, yeah, I would rather see Ahsoka meet Luke, but I thought Ahsoka was supposed to be looking for Ezra.
yeah. Which is something weird to throw. Which I didn't even think about that. That's a weird little monkey wrench to throw into that.
And
Um,
people are saying that, but because they're like, oh yeah, supposed to be the sequel to Rebels, but I'm like, why wouldn't you animate the sequel to Rebels? And I don't get it. Don't get it.
well, yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't just do an anime. I guess because they have an animated show and maybe the story that they're trying to tell for Ahsoka isn't like a season after season story.
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't get into. I can't get under Dave Filoni's cowboy hat and let you
Dude, I
know.
saw a picture of him the other day not wearing it. I think it was in the
I think it was the Saturn Awards.
wasn't the Saturn Awards because
Because
I didn't look for
we'll get
those.
to those in a couple minutes, but
No, it was the Disney Gallery about the finale of Mandalorian, and
oh yeah.
I watched it. I went over to my coworkers, and he made me dinner, and he and his wife and I watched it, and I went, "Oh my God, Dave Filoni doesn't have on his cowboy hat. There's something not right here."
Yeah, it's to the point where he looks strange with hair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just because if you wear a ball cap, I just assume you're bald. Like if you wear one all the time, I just
Oh
assume
God,
you're
yeah.
bald.
There's friends of mine who wear ball caps all the time, and when they take them off, I'm always slightly confused at what they look like without
Yeah,
them. I
yeah,
used to be like that. I had a newsboy cap I wore literally 98% of the time, and people were always like, "Oh, sorry, you have like a head under there."
yeah. Like the guy that runs Marvel, Kevin Feige. He's always in like a Marvel hat. And I'm like, yeah, because the old boy's rocking some baldness. But I just assumed, I guess, for Dave Filoni, but no, not so much. But
For men watching this show, just embrace it. You're not fooling anybody if your
look,
hairline's.
I never have to worry about it, so I'm I don't have a problem talking about it. I when if they nuke but then my complex, all that be left is this hair. So
Yeah, I think my hair grows the same way, so that's why I
yeah.
look like Pebbles Flintstone meets Cindy Lou Who half the time now. because it doesn't
But I
grow
wonder if they're
down; it
gonna
grows up.
do you think they'll de-age him? Because even if he's a Force ghost, then Force ghosts don't age. I mean, I guess unless you
Hayden.
count the actor's age. I mean, technically, Alec Guinness is 3 years older in in Return of the Jedi than he is
Yeah.
in
Um,
Empire, but you can't really
I don't
tell.
know. I don't think Hayden looks that much older. He's
No,
aged
no, he
fairly
doesn't.
well.
But I will say I also haven't seen him in anything lately.
It's
Like, I
true. I've
mean,
only seen pictures of him at like conventions.
yeah, I
He's
mean, I've
coming
seen
to.
just like paparazzi pictures. I think I did watch Jumper, but that's been 10 years ago.
I've
So
I've never seen Jumper, so
yeah, I only. By the way,
tell
I
you.
only watched it because Hayden Christensen was in it.
Had to check it. Maybe a little bit. I know they're supposed to be for Diego Luna and Andor, but I when I told somebody the other day that Diego Luna was like 41, 42, they didn't believe me because he also doesn't look his age. So, but he
No,
also
he
doesn't
doesn't
look
look. And he's supposed to
21.
be what 10 years younger than he is in Rogue One.
I think
And then
Andor is supposed to be 5 years before Rogue One because 10 years before Rogue One, he'd be 16. Cassian's only 26 in
yeah,
Rogue
I
One.
think you see. I think you know how old he's supposed to be, but he doesn't look that age. So they could do 10 years, and I don't think people would know. I don't think people
That's true.
would
That
you
is,
know.
that is true. I just
Yeah,
know that he's supposed to be that old. Everybody thinks that he's closer to his 30s, but also like everybody in Star Wars looks a little older because hard life.
yeah. I mean, Leia's the only one who looks her age. Excuse me.
Yeah.
In A
That's
New
because
Hope, and
Carrie
then
Fisher was 19 when they were filming New Hope.
yeah, and Mark Hamill looks like he's in his early 20s because he was.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess Harrison Ford, he's not
Yeah,
playing any older. He's playing Harrison. I mean, he aged 3 years, frozen in carbonite. So,
that's true.
um,
Ah,
but yeah, I wonder if they will de-age him just a hair. I guess would make. Well, I mean, I'm guessing. I think if they're going to do flashbacks, they might have to de-age him.
yeah,
Again,
because
not
like
much. He doesn't look. It's not like he's 80 playing a 20-year-old. He's 40 playing a 20-year-old. So
yeah.
you know, those kids on 90210 did
Ages
that for years.
for one thing I find out when I'm doing theater and specifically Zoom theater because it's less forgiving because you're not far away. But there's this really weird age line, like where we think we know what age everybody is, and we really don't.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Well, I mean, Topsy's supposed to be 23 in any flashback. Or
is
is that
it?
that old he is? Yeah. No.
Yeah, because
22.
he's like Vader at 23. If you take
Yeah, 9 plus
he was
10 plus
9,
3.
then 10 years later is Attack of the Clones, so he's 19. 3 years for Clone Wars would take him to 22. And Revenge of the Sith takes place over the course of most of a pregnancy, so the oldest he could be is 23.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's going to be the lead. I think when we see him, we're all going to be like, I don't think anybody is going to be, too.
And especially because if they're doing him as a ghost, it would be really easy to just
Yeah,
work
there's
into
so much
Force
distortion.
Ghosts.
I don't think anybody's
Yeah.
going to care, and they're going to just they're just going to look. I mean, it's it's Lucasfilm. They got a couple of special effects laying around. They might
There's
be
like
able
a
to.
couple of them, one or two. They might
Yeah,
have a few dollars
I think they
left in the
might be able
budget.
to pull off,
This isn't
making him look younger. I don't think it's going to be a big deal.
this isn't Doctor Who, where if they have an explosion, that's their budget for the entire year.
Right. Yeah. Um, I will say this as somebody who was conscious when the prequels came out and everything. Uh, the amount of love that I've seen online of him being in the Ahsoka show, and really being in Kenobi too, but for somebody who remembers that, like, all of the prequel hate, to see like just the outpouring of like people so excited about Hayden Christensen coming back to play Anakin in Ahsoka, it was really kind of nice to see.
See, I remember seeing a lot of acclaim more for people liked Revenge of the Sith, but I remember people being real iffy on the Star Wars prequels. I wasn't a fan then, but
Yeah.
I remember reading the entire feature about Revenge of the Sith in Time magazine, which, if you'll note, I was 13 when Revenge of the Sith came out, and I religiously read Time magazine, and that's all you need to know about me as a child.
Right.
All you need to know.
But yeah, I'm really happy that everybody's so
Yeah.
excited that he's going to be in it. It's nobody went, oh man, that's going to suck now. Like, 'cause they're all like, yay, Hayden Christensen. So that's good to hear. But
Yeah, I'm just wondering how they're going to fit it into the story, but I'm like, I don't like literally like I think I found a meme the other day that said some people make their lives miserable because they consume Star Wars films critically. I consume Star Wars films like a 12-year-old been given pixie sticks consecutively until my stomach hurts.
right, I mean, it has to be. I mean, there's three options. Well, four options. Okay, there's flashbacks, um, Force Ghost. He comes out of the world between worlds, or clones.
Please no. I feel like
I
we've
mean,
done this and I don't like it.
or Dave Filoni just decides to throw out the continuity of the original trilogy and the prequels, and Anakin never became Darth Vader. So
I'm not dead. I'm
yeah,
not dead.
I mean, I don't even think Dave Filoni is that ballsy. And as much as like everybody like loves Dave Filoni and thinks he's the savior of Lucasfilm, if he tossed out the original trilogy, I don't think he would be as
I
beloved.
feel like he has proposed it at one point just to watch Kathleen Kennedy's eyebrows meet her hairline, and she's like, "Dave,
Yeah.
sir, your hat is too tight."
Yes. So we're just gonna pretend like the original trilogy never happened and Anakin never became Vader. No.
No, if we're retconning a trilogy, let's retcon that one and watch fanboys cry.
Yeah, I mean, let's just. By the way, if they toss out the original trilogy, they throw out your Rogue One too. So there's no. So
I will come through this computer. Do not think I won't.
Yeah, I mean, but those are the only options. I mean, I mean, can you think of any other way he could come back? I mean, unless he's playing another
it
character.
sounds like they say he appears.
Okay.
I would think if the only other option would be if it's more of a cameo as his voice.
Yeah. Well, appears would probably just be.
Yeah, I mean that, but I don't think there would be this much acclaim unless it was leaked that it's his voice, like if it was misrepresented.
Well, I mean, it could be that he's in it because there's like a continuing flashback from the Clone Wars,
I
she
mean,
keeps
that would make
remembering like the
sense.
same.
Ahsoka was 14 and in a war. She has to have like so much PTSD. It's not even funny. 14. Well, who takes a 14-year-old in a crop top to a war, Jason?
That does bring up the point, though. If they do flashbacks, Rosario Dawson can't play 14-year-old Ahsoka.
No.
So,
if they do flashbacks, are they going to bring back Ewan too?
Well, I mean, probably not. But I think you could get around. There were enough episodes where it was just Anakin and Ahsoka on missions that you don't necessarily need him.
I want them to bring back Tom Morrison as Rex, but that's me.
Well, I mean, or they can just have him do the voice. You don't need to really hate. I mean, the clones don't need to take their helmets off.
That's true.
There's ways to get around it. If they're doing, and by the way, and that's if they're doing flashbacks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if it's Force Ghost, then you wouldn't need to worry about young Ahsoka.
No, that's what I mean. Like if it's flashbacks, you have to have young Ahsoka, which isn't crazy.
Yeah.
But just Just throwing it out there.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I was excited's not the right word. I'm not really like I'm looking forward to the Ahsoka show. I'm a little bit more looking forward to it now that with the Hayden Christensen thing. Um, I everything about what they're doing around the Ahsoka show sounds like for lack of a better like a good idea. It's like okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that sounds right.
Um, I haven't heard them announce anything or anything about it or around it that's made me go, ooh, I don't know, but so that's good. And I'm guessing that's the next one in the pipeline after Mando season 3, because I haven't heard anything about them shooting it.
I haven't heard about them shooting yet. I
Although
don't
I
know.
see Rosario Dawson, seems like she's in everything I turn on lately. So I'm watching Dope. I was actually watching it before I got out here. She's in this show on Hulu called Dope Sick, which I
Oh
did
yeah,
start
I've heard
reviewing.
about
So
that one. I haven't watched it yet though.
yeah, it's good. It's very
I
anti-OxyContin, in case you're curious.
Yeah,
They
I
don't think
would
they
assume.
don't think that OxyContin was a good idea on the show. So,
I don't have a medical degree, so I don't have an opinion on OxyContin.
by the way, most of the people that were pushing this OxyContin didn't have a medical degree, so that's fine.
Makes sense.
But yeah,
I
I mean
just
that's kind of all I got
this is
on Hayden and Ahsoka, unless you have other.
I'm just waiting till we get news about the Acolyte because that one's really interested me.
Yeah, I mean November. I don't remember when in November. It seemed like it was early. I think we're gonna get a lot of news. We'll probably have a news show in November, because it's. I was telling you guys, like it felt like a real sort of Star Wars news drought. You know, like
Oh no, they drop it the day after we have a news show. They're gonna
right.
just so y'all know, I'm calling it. They're gonna drop something tomorrow.
Oh yeah, tomorrow probably the Boba Fett trailer.
Oh god.
Although I can't imagine. Although with them doing a documentary for Disney Plus on the 12th, they
Mm-hmm.
probably will wait till then to do a trailer, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Um,
I would say even if we skip the next 2 weeks, expect a new show on the 17th because Disney Plus Day is going to give us something.
Disney Plus Day is on the 12th, so
Yeah.
which is a
The 17th
Friday.
is apparently Life Day.
What?
The 17th is Life Day.
17th is Life Day?
Apparently they say that you say Happy Life Day on November 17th because that's when the first holiday special came out.
Huh. That's my
And
mother's
I
birthday.
just like to forget that the holiday special was a thing. Sorry, you were saying something?
No, it's November 17th, my mom's birthday, so
Uh,
I did not know that. And she will think that's stupid if when I tell her. So,
oh, good.
because it's really kind of, if you think about it, it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's like, oh, your birthday is Life Day, which is a Star Wars holiday, and it was dramatized in the one piece of Star Wars media that George Lucas would like to smash with a hammer every bootleg copy.
That's true. My friends and
Which
I did watch this.
I would pay good money to see, just like a room full of VHS tapes and like George with a hammer and like a plaid shirt. I would pay good money to watch him smash every copy of the.
I would pay this. Okay, Disney, I have your next $1 million idea. You put all the current people working on producing Star Wars content in a room, and they have to watch the holiday special, and that's the new commentary for it.
Ugh. That commentary. I mean, that special's rough.
God.
Oh, it's rough.
My friend made me watch it, and I don't think I've been that drunk in a while because I just kept drinking.
It's not even. There's like campy, movies that are like so bad they're good, and Star Wars is not. The holiday special is not even so bad it's good. It's just bad. It's just bad. Oh God.
I don't remember what it was that something last year, it was something political. Mark Hamill said, "This is the worst thing I've ever seen." And I was in the Star Wars holiday special. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else? So
Anyway,
what's next? What else we got besides Andor?
I think it's been announced on here before, or we decided to not do a news show, but Andor has apparently finished filming, and I only screamed for like 3 hours.
I could have sworn we talked about Andor finishing filming.
We might have. It's in the banners, which makes me feel like we have talked about it before.
Well, yeah, if it's in an old banner, I'm guessing we've discussed it. But we can
But I
talk about
wasn't
it again
here,
if you want.
so I'm going to mention it.
Was that
I'm
that night was enjoyable? Oh, see, even Melissa remembers.
No, that was when that night was when we watched the Star Wars Holiday Special. Missy
Oh,
watched
okay,
it
that's
with
what she
me.
was talking about when we talked about Andor had finished filming.
No, yeah, but I wasn't here, so I'm contractually obligated to mention Andor every time I'm on the show. It's in my contract.
Okay.
No, Missy watched the Star Wars Holiday Special with me and watched me get really, really drunk on chat that night.
Oof.
It was bad.
Oof.
But yeah, so other than that, yeah. Oh, we did talk about Boba Fett coming to Disney Plus on the 29th because it's also in the old banners.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, because me and Hannah and Emily, we all did a show about Boba Fett where I did my Boba Fett rant, which it was nice to get off my chest, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's the Saturn Awards. I've just pulled up the list of winners that Star Rise of Skywalker was entered in because apparently they counted a lot of the movies from the pandemic. Best science
Yeah,
fiction film, which
I'm going to pull it up here in a second because I wanted to see something I thought I read.
Star Wars isn't really science fiction.
Well,
You know what won best fantasy film? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's also not a fantasy film.
it is a fantasy because it didn't happen.
Yeah, I know, but it's not. Words don't just mean things, they have meanings. Science fiction means that it's focused on technology and the improvement for the future. That's a science fiction movie. A fantasy film is like Star Wars, not science fiction. Star Trek is science fiction. Star Wars is space fantasy.
Yeah, I was right. It beat Tenet.
I didn't see Tenet. Was it any good?
It was good, but yeah, it was good, but I was like, really? Rise of Skywalker beat Tenet? Huh.
Best comic
Okay.
to film motion picture. There had to be a bunch in that one.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're talking about movies that came out in 2019 were, won a bunch of awards. I mean, God, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out the summer of 2019. So
Oh God, yeah.
they're really kind of knife. I'm looking at the list now of winners. I'm wondering if I even got the right year. Did I get the right year? Yeah, October
Yeah, it was
2021.
this says that they extended the eligibility period because they didn't hold the 2020 awards.
Okay.
So the eligibility period was anything that came out from July 15th of 2009 to November 15th, 2020.
Okay, that
I don't know
makes
if
sense.
they skipped. I don't know if they skipped one of the years or didn't, but since so many from 2019 won, I'm assuming they skipped a year.
Well, no, because I just don't think they had a lot of 2020. There weren't a lot of movies that came out in 2020. At least not a lot of science fiction movies. Although I don't see Bill and Ted Face the Music on here, so that's disappointing.
John Williams won for best music. Rise of Skywalker.
The thing is, right? I thought just Rise of Skywalker. It won best. It won best film. It won best director. It won best.
It won best director and it won best science fiction film. They have like 5 or 6 best films.
Yeah, but then Mandalorian won best TV show under 10 episodes. Best animated TV show was Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So Star Wars really had a good night.
It did. See, Star Trek Discovery won something too. Oh, Doug Jones won for best supporting actor. Sorry, I love him on Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I don't remember. I think I don't think they got nominated for many Oscars. Rise of Skywalker. So
No, they never really do.
I mean, it's just the special effect. I mean, just the special, even just like the special effects and sound and stuff. I don't think it got. Now they might have got
Yeah.
a couple of those, but like I don't know.
This Oscars was so weird anyway. I
There
think
was
I think Rise
only
of Skywalker came out because it's in that weird period where it's
no,
like in the
actually
Oscar
no, because
period.
it was weird because the 2019 Oscars they came out and they were announced in um like February, like late February of 2020. So they got to do like the full Oscars in
Oh no, because
2020.
The Oscars were on before Valentine's Day, so they would have been late January, early
Yeah, late
February.
January, early 20. Yeah, early. For
Because
some
I
reason,
was
they
on
were
a cruise.
super early in 2020. Maybe they
I was
knew.
on a cruise ship and I couldn't get the Oscars to see what Adam Driver was wearing, and I was kind of pissed. Um, I was sick on a cruise ship, so that's why I was channel flipping instead of doing something.
Um, but yeah, no, it was good for Rise of Skywalker. As much as many issues as I have with that movie, I was
They,
pleasant. I
they
was like, hey,
didn't
good,
they didn't
good for
win
them.
for costumes, but they won for makeup. And as somebody who's been making one of the costumes from Rise of Skywalker, the costumes in that movie, some of them were beautiful, but every time I try and make them, I'm going to give somebody the middle finger. It's bad.
Well, gone are the days of a big white shirt and dyed. What kind of jean? There's some kind of like specialized jeans that Mark
Mm-hmm.
Hamill wore in A New Hope.
Yep.
Anyway, they were dyed like tan. Those are
Yeah.
actually jeans. I was like, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, gone are those days. They're now a little bit more. Which is funny that you say it's difficult to make Ray's outfit because it looks simple. It looks like it's just a bunch of wraps, but I don't
That's
make
what it is.
costumes.
It looks really, really simple. That's why I picked Rise of Skywalker to do because it looks more simple and less sewing than
Yeah,
any of her other outfits, right? Rise of Skywalker, everything's in white. You can source a bunch of it on your
right.
own. There's more pieces to that stupid outfit. Because I have it, her shirt has a collar and a hood that I had to add to my shirt. I still don't have proper wraps. I use like medical wrap up my arms because I can't get a real wrap done yet.
Okay.
There's two different leather pieces. Her belt is multiple pieces that you have to figure out how to make them work together.
So,
What
so
else
what you're
was
saying is the costume design award is well deserved.
Yeah, if they got one, they did not. Mulan did, which those costumes were beautiful. So, but yes,
All
it
right then.
was. Yeah, I was just kind of impressed because I'm like that movie came out forever ago.
I know. Well, I was looking at some of the other stuff too. Knives Out was on there a couple times. It was
Yeah,
like, oh, well, good for that. Good for that movie.
yeah. What's her
For
name?
anybody
Girl who plays.
caring, Knives Out was 4K DVD. Is how I figured out that my Xbox plays 4K, and now I want to get a 4K TV. So, I don't need a new TV, but if I have an Xbox that'll show things in 4K,
You
well, then
should
I
get a
need to get a
4K
4K.
TV. Wait
Need to
till
get a
Super
4K.
Bowl weekend. That's when they go on sale.
Well, and Thanksgiving.
That's true.
Yeah.
I once I went to the city for a weekend. This would have been February 2017. It was like right after I started grad school, right after I moved in with my ex. I went to the city for the weekend. I left on a Friday and came home on a Sunday afternoon over Super Bowl weekend. I came back and there was a different TV in my apartment than there was when I left. And I'm like, something happened. And he went, oh, yeah, our TV went out. I'm like, oh, our TV conveniently went out right when they're all on sale for Super Bowl Sunday. He's like, no, it really did. I'm like, I believe you.
See,
But I think
the
it might
reason
have had
I can't
malicious
get a 4K,
intentions.
I mean, I could get a 4K tomorrow if I wanted,
Yeah.
but I would feel bad because there's nothing wrong with my TV.
Yeah.
Like it's a big TV. There's nothing wrong with it. Got a beautiful picture.
Not 4K.
It's just not 4K. So
I just thought that was funny. I'm like, oh, sure, it went out when the TVs are on sale. And I'm like, I was gone for 2 days. 2.
if I had somebody to give this TV to, I would get another one, but I don't. Everybody I know has a really good TV too, so I don't really.
I have 2 TVs. I live alone. I don't need two. Why do I have 2 TVs?
I have 2 TVs. I have one in the living room and I have one in the bedroom. I turn
That is
one in the bedroom on periodically.
Mine is I have one in the living room and a small one on the dresser I keep in my sewing room, which so I can watch TV when I'm sewing.
Yeah. Although I will say this, because I've upgraded the monitors on my computer, the monitors are not much smaller now than the TV I have in the bedroom.
I was at a friend's house the other day and he was upgrading his monitors. He had a 40-inch television screen that he was using as a monitor, and I'm like,
Yeah, well, I mean,
I need space. I'm like, I still use a tiny laptop all the time. What is
no,
this with everybody
I got the
needing
whole
bigger
setup. I got
monitors?
the 2 monitors, and I got the whole
I
setup for the
only
Vista.
use
Hi,
multiple
Zebra.
monitors when I'm at work, and only because I have to on some of our systems. They don't let me pick.
I'm spoiled. I've been using 2 monitors for so long that like when I have to work on just like the laptop, it irritates me because I got to cut back. I got to go back and forth. It bothers me.
I don't like working on more than one monitor.
Oh, I love it because I put something here and then I can type and I can look over here and type in what I'm doing. I do a lot of stuff
Yeah.
with papers, so that's the reason why.
I mean that would make sense, but it's me, and I'm apparently the almost 30-year-old dinosaur that doesn't like change, and I don't like adjusting to new
Yeah.
things. But yeah.
All right. So what else do we got? We got.
I feel like we had more stories in our.
I have written down Thrawn Coming. Is that the name of the new book, Thrawn Coming? Because
No,
that's
the new
dirty.
Thrawn book is coming out. It
Oh, it's
is.
coming. Okay. Because I looked on the Discord and it just said Thrawn Coming, and I was like, well, all right,
Yeah,
then. Good for you,
Thrawn.
Thrawn.
Hannah's gonna watch this and yell at us.
I was
Yeah,
like, all
no,
right. I guess
Thrawn Ascendancy, Lesser
Thrawn's got a
Evil.
girl or boy or both in this coming up. Is it's Thrawn Coming?
Well, I guess my actual note said Thrawn coming out, which I mean, still good for him. Nobody should live in the closet.
Yeah,
But
you know
anyway,
what? I haven't given a lot of thought to Thrawn's sexuality. Um,
nobody's straight in space. Nobody.
by the way, still don't know. Still don't know. I'm gonna be completely honest. Kind of don't care.
Yeah. I think it's coming out sometime in late November. I'll have to get an exact date on that. I had it and then I lost it.
Now this is like a trilogy. So this is like the Thrawn.
Yeah, this is the Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy.
Okay.
This is the last one. We just got the other one earlier this year.
Yeah, that's. I was actually gonna say that. I was like, didn't one just come out?
November 16th.
Yeah, but the second one, didn't that just come out like a couple months ago?
April, maybe?
Okay. They're kind of. I mean,
I'm looking this
like
up.
Plenty of them, and probably
yeah,
Nick
it came out in
person
April
to run this by. But aren't they kind of burning through their books?
I think it's that. I think Greater Good might have gotten delayed because of the pandemic, but I don't remember. I don't think. I think it might have just been that they had a trilogy planned and then they just decided to put them out quickly because. Yeah,
I thought I would think that they would do them like a year apart, so they would do. But maybe I don't know. Well, I don't know when the first one came out.
I don't remember, but I know Timothy Zahn is going to be at C2E2.
Uh-huh.
So it might be that they wanted it to coincide with when he's going to C2E2.
Okay. I won't read it, but and I don't mean that in like a nasty, like I won't read it, but I'm like, I just know myself. I'm not going to read it.
The last one came out on September 1st of last year.
Oh, really?
So it's been a fairly quick trilogy.
Wait, the first one came out in September?
Yeah, last September.
Okay.
So it was September, April, November. So they've been
Huh.
about 6 months apart.
Well, I would just think with all of the books that are coming out in between that
Space them.
you could
But
space
yeah.
those out. But I guess if they're done, then why?
Yeah, true.
Um. Okay.
We did just get all the posters for the next wave of High Republic 2, which is frightening.
Yeah, I saw the one that was on the one that was on Twitter and everything was the who will survive, and it had all of the Jedi's from the High Republic, and I looked at it and I felt and I was sad, and I will explain why, because I didn't know who anybody was, and I was just sort of like, oh, I wish I could.
I did this really wrong because I've only read some of the High Republic books, so apparently I don't have enough emotional connection, and it stressed me out. I'm like,
Yeah,
but
I
I
was just like,
want them all to survive.
I had kind of High Republic FOMO. I was just like, oh, but everybody's going to be all upset about who's gonna live and who's gonna die, and I don't know who these people are. It's like, which one's the Rock? Which one is the Rock on here? Is Geode on here? I don't remember Yoda being on it, so we don't
Hey,
have to
I
worry
can
about
tell
that
you he
anyway.
survives.
Yeah, I have a pretty good idea. He makes it. Um, yeah, the rest of them, I'm just sort of like, I don't know who they are. I felt bad.
Apparently, it is the time where I have to hold the dog like a baby.
That's okay. Zara came in from the porch. Um,
Probably getting cold.
I mean, it's getting a little chilly, which is
Oh,
good because
she's a
I
long-haired
like it
dog,
when she
though.
snuggles, and when it gets colder, she likes to snuggle. So, I mean, I take it as she's snuggling, and she is really just more sleeping where it's warmer.
Yeah. My
But
dogs are short-haired dogs, so they wear sweaters all winter, like little
yeah,
dweebs, but that's okay.
Zero won't let me do that. But
I ordered Boots' Halloween costume, and he's going to be BB-8.
oh, cool.
That's fun.
Zara is going to be my dog. I don't think we're gonna. She's not into costumes. Are you, Zara? Are you into costumes? Do you care about costumes? She doesn't care.
Boots just doesn't care. If I put him in something, he's just like, whatever, mom. He's pretty chill.
No, no.
Except for the other day when we were out at the campground with my parents and he was riding around inside of my hoodie because he was cold. So he was literally, I was walking around with his head out this part of my hoodie. Yeah, I think that's the last of the news we had, unless anything
Yeah, I
else.
guess the only other thing I was gonna say maybe is the Boba Fett Under the Hood documentary, but it's just that they announced what the
Yeah, they
name of
haven't
it
said
was.
much about it, but I'm kind of interested.
I am too, because I mean, it looks like it's, which is what I kind of hope it is. If they sort of delve into the phenomenon of Boba Fett, I'd be very interested, because if you've listened to the episode where I went off on my Boba Fett rant, I've never understood the fascination with Boba Fett.
That's the thing. I should listen to your rant because I have the same rant.
I'm like, I was just sort of like, and I've always felt that way. Um, and so I keep it's if I take nothing else away from the movie Mean Girls, it's the stop trying to make fetch happen. Except I will periodically remove the word fetch and put something else in there. Like
Mhm.
around Rise of Skywalker, it was stop trying to make Dio happen. Um, and I guess for the last 40 years, it's like stop trying to make Boba Fett happen.
And then they made Boba Fett happen.
Yeah, so they kind of are. He's kind of. I think it was one of the things we talked about in the episode is that with the Mandalorian and now with the Book of Boba Fett, um, we're sort of getting to see all of the things that he was. Everybody sort of imagined he did, and imagined
Hmm.
he was like, because it was all like. I mean, my thing was is like he's in 2 movies, 3 if you count Attack
Briefly.
of the Clones, and I don't really count that. Um, and basically all he accomplishes is he follows the Falcon to Cloud City. That's the only thing he
That's
does.
and that's the
He
thing is
fails at
like the
everything else.
original. run of Boba Fett that most people are obsessed with him for is the 5 minutes he was in Empire, 5 minutes he was in.
By the way,
Um,
if he's even in Empire for 5 minutes, he's in 3 scenes. I mean, okay,
I'm generous. I am giving a generous estimate.
he follows them to Cloud City. Vader's the one that sets the trap. Vader's the one that freezes him. All he does is freeze Han Solo and gives him to Boba Fett, and gives him an armed escort to his ship.
And
And
I
then
guess
at
now they're
Jabba's
also
palace,
with War of the Bounty Hunters. They're playing into the Boba Fett thing too.
yeah, I mean, that's all new.
Yeah,
They're really trying to give him. They're trying to justify his reputation.
they're trying to
But
make Boba Fett happen.
and supposedly, yeah, they're trying to make Fett happen. Stop trying to make Fett happen. Um, but yeah, and then Return of the Jedi. He pulls out his gun. Nothing happens. And then he tries to capture Luke. Luke cuts the cord in half, and then a blind guy knocks him in the hole. That's it. That's the end of Boba Fett.
It's like the worst way to die. Like I feel like once the Mandalorian hears that story, Boba Fett's never going to hear the end of it.
Right? And so it's just kind of like, it's like, look, I'm glad that people in 1980 saw that character design and thought he was going to be cool. He has yet to. He kind of has a little bit in the Mandalorian lived up to that reputation. Kind of. I'm
I
hoping
mean,
with the Book of Boba Fett, he will finally
to be
deserve it.
fair,
But
Star Wars has idolized characters with much less screen time than Boba
this
Fett.
is true. This is true. Although I can't think of. Although I know I'm gonna push back on that because I can't think of anybody who has had less
Not
screen time
as
than
much as Boba Fett, but it is the Star Wars fan way to love the character that you see for half a second.
yeah, but like I mean like people who don't watch Star Wars kind of know who Boba Fett is.
That is
And
true.
by the way, we don't have to rehash this. We did a whole I did a whole episode ranting about this.
I
It's all
just
in the
wasn't on
episode.
it, and I have the same rant. But yes, I
Yeah.
just I feel like I'm waiting. I am excited for Book of Boba Fett, and I am excited for this documentary because it might be interesting.
Well, I'm excited for the Book of Boba Fett just because I thought about this the other day. It's like I'm spoiled. I mean, this will be now the second Christmas with no Star Wars movie, and I'm just kind of like, I mean, one of the things that the pandemic has done is it's made me miss like, big movies.
Yeah,
Why I ventured out to see No Time to Die, but
yeah.
I
I
mean,
just
2
went to
years
the
ago, about
drive-in
every
for
couple of months,
that.
you could go in and see some mindless comic book, and then for the last 5 years, it was, or for 5 years, it was a Star Wars movie every Christmas, and now I haven't had this be the second year that
I mean,
we're
there
not getting
was
that.
Solo was
So,
in May, which I think is honestly probably what part of what tanked Solo.
oh yeah, that's right. Solo didn't come out at Christmas; it came out in May. Yeah, it should have come out at Christmas. Definitely should have come out at Christmas.
What all are we getting? I'm reading about Disney Plus Day. We get Home Sweet Home Alone, so which is a Home Alone type movie.
Yeah.
Um, New Simpsons short.
Well, the Shang-Chi is going to come. Is going to be on Disney Plus.
Yeah, so's Jungle Cruise.
I've already seen Jungle Cruise, but
I have not
Shang-Chi I
seen
haven't seen, so I'm excited about that. And it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very, very difficult for me. It'll be the first Marvel movie I'm not going to have any inkling to want to buy. Like I've picked up all the other Marvel movies like super cheap, like digitally.
Mm-hmm.
But Shang-Chi is like, I don't really. If it's going to be on Disney Plus, I
Yeah,
don't need to buy it.
I mean Black Widow's on Disney Plus now.
So, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I haven't bought Black Widow, but I don't really.
Yep. I just I'm excited for Jungle Cruise because I love Emily Blunt, and I
Emily
am
Blunt.
just
Like I said, I've seen Jungle Cruise. It's a cute movie. I wouldn't say it's a great movie, but it's cute. It does its job.
Not looking for excellence. I'm just looking for entertainment here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I
I
Disney
think
Plus.
that's the
They'll give
news
us some. Isn't
for lack. What?
is Disney Investor Day? Are they doing another call with the investors presentation this year? I don't know.
I
If that's
don't know. I mean, the Investor Day they have to, but whether it's going to be like the big event that it was last year, I don't know, because they're doing Disney Plus Day,
yeah.
so they might use that, but they're not going to. I don't know. I don't know. I'm very curious.
I'm just waiting for for Star Wars Twitter to explode at the Book of Boba Fett trailer. It's going to amuse me.
Because I would be curious that if they do the Investors Day this year, if they're going to have trailers, because the reason I think they might is they got so much buzz last year, like with
They
the
didn't
Rogue
even really have
Squadron.
trailers last year. They just had people talking about their stuff.
Well, the
'Cause they
investors
had,
saw trailers, but no, the trailer for the first trailer for Clone Wars, not Clone Wars, Bad Batch, was the Investors Day.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
I don't remember
yeah.
that. That's me.
That had a like a legit trailer, because I remember I'm like I could have cared less about Bad Batch, and then I saw that trailer. I was like, ooh, I kind of want to see this Bad Batch show now.
Yeah. I just remember watching the sizzle for Andor, like
yeah, we had like a
multiple
sizzle
times.
for Andor, but I'm wondering if they'll do full on trailers for Andor and Obi-Wan, only because they got so much. I think that was when they did the first trailer for Loki and WandaVision.
Even if it's just a teaser, please give me something.
Yeah, so I mean, with them having, and they've certainly cut enough together. I can't imagine they haven't cut together enough of Obi-Wan Andor and slash or Andor to do a trailer.
Yeah, even if it's just like a teaser.
Like a teaser, yeah. And since Book of Boba Fett doesn't come out until December 29th,
yeah,
we'll probably get a trailer for that too. So they got 3 big trailers that they can put out there. So
yeah, they're starting Star Wars on Wednesdays now.
Well, they're doing everything on Wednesdays. I think even
I just was double confirming that was what they were doing.
Yeah, the 29th is a Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean New Year's Eve is a Friday?
Yes. New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve are both Fridays this year. Ask me how annoyed I am about it. I'll tell you off the air.
All right.
But yeah, I think that's all the news.
Yeah, that's all the news, and we're digging. Well, yeah, and watch like tomorrow at like 9:00. The Book of Boba Fett trailer comes out. So
no, tomorrow they're going to be announcing that Natalie Portman's returning to the Ahsoka series, and we're going to be like, why?
Yeah, I didn't answer this quiz on Twitter, but somebody was like, if you could bring back one character, who would you bring back? I was like, oh, Padme. I'd bring back Padme. I think that'd be far more interesting.
I feel like I am unfairly prejudiced in this regard because
I can already pick yours. I don't need to hear yours. I already know yours.
Oh no! I mean, I thought you meant for like the prequel or the series. I didn't. think
no. I think they meant like they just think you could bring back any character. Who would it be? And I just assumed back to life.
Okay.
I just assumed that.
I'm also unfairly prejudiced on that one, but
yeah. And by the way, I can pick yours. I can say yours right now. I'm pretty like 95% sure I'm right.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I would say for like any of the prequel characters going into these shows, where is Padme?
Well, she's dead.
This is blatant Padme erasure, and I will not stand for it.
Yeah. Oh well.
But Disney did not ask me.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Yeah, oddly enough, for the shield that I am, I don't get money, and they don't ask me crap. I don't run anything past me.
I want to be in a position of enough power that people make angry YouTube videos about me with lasers shooting out of my eyes. That's the type of
Oh,
power
that's
I
such a
aspire.
trope. That's a tired trope. You don't want that. You don't want it just because it's boring.
Yeah.
I'd rather have like a squid coming out of my mouth or something.
Like a flurkin?
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Davy Jones. Davy Jones.
Yeah, my nephew, I bought a flurkin for my niece because she loves Captain Marvel, and my nephew didn't remember her getting it, and so I showed it to him a couple weekends ago. It freaked him out. I love freaking that kid out every now and then. Every now and then I get to do that. It's fun.
Yep.
So,
Well, I guess this has been Followers of the Force Live, and for not
Yep.
having that much news, we have talked for an hour. So,
we put in our time.
David, this goes on our overtime check.
Yeah. Be sure to get that. Be sure to get that time and a half in.
Unfortunately, 1.5 times 0 is still, in fact, 0.
Yeah, it's not very good. So, if you're, leave the thing up because I was going to say, all that stuff at the bottom, follow and do all that. TeePublic and Instagram and Twitters and Facebooks, all that kind of good stuff.
And until next time, may the Force be with you.